So markets move in trends, which means the market goes up and then it comes down. And if you can catch the reversal of the trend, वहां पे सबसे ज्यादा पैसा बनता है, right? And usually a lot of people use the moving average to detect कि trend up है, कि trend down है. But that moving average is actually very late or it has a lag. Today we're going to talk about one simple trick you can use to get that buy and sell signal earlier. So let's get started. So let's look at a typical way a trend moves. Let's imagine कि market ऐसे ऊपर गया, थोड़ा stall किया, फिर ऐसे reverse किया, and then the market does whatever. Now usually we will use two moving averages. In my example, I'm going to use the same pen color to show that moving average, and we will do 12 EMA and 26 EMA. So what this looks like will be something like this. The exponential moving averages will go like this. Okay, something like that. And then there'll be a second moving average. I'll also draw it with a dotted line over here. And the sell signal will happen something like this. Now, this is a very bad drawing, but you can see that the trend reversal happened somewhere here, but the sell signal we got was somewhere around this area. I'll show you this in an actual chart over here. As we can see that this is price went up, and then you can see the trend changing beautifully, going sideways and then falling. Now we can see that the trend change happened somewhere in this area, but the two moving averages, the 12 EMA and the 26 EMA, gave us a sell signal here in this area as this crossover happens. So there's some delay, right? Our objective is to, instead of getting the sell signal here, can we get that a little earlier? Let's see one more example of what lag looks like. So over here, I have the market falling and then this beautiful reversal. As we can see, kahin yahan par trend reverse hua and the market started moving up. And you can see that the moving average actually gave us a cross under like this in this area over here. So there is some lag, okay? Now the objective is, how can we reduce this lag? So this is our lag and this is the actual reversal. Maybe somewhere, if we can get it a little earlier, maybe somewhere here. Now let's learn about one more concept. You already know this. It's called the MACD, Moving Average Convergence Divergence. बहुत simple है. The Moving Average Convergence Divergence is just a difference between this crossover that is happening. So you will see an indicator and it has a zero line over here. See, zero. When the Moving Average Convergence Divergence is below that zero line, we know that the cross under has happened and it's a downtrend. And when it's over the moving average, which is somewhere over here, we know that it's a positive trend. So basically, this indicator is nothing but showing us the convergence and divergence of the two EMAs that we have drawn. Now, what is the trick? The trick is very simple. Gerald Apple, who created the moving average convergence divergence, added one EMA to this particular line. मतलब यहाँ पे एक और EMA उसने add कर दिया. And this EMA actually turns trend faster than our normal moving average. So here a sell signal was generated, which is much earlier. And that's it. So I'll repeat again. To find a trend, we need to look at price. And prices ka average, we use an EMA. We have two EMAs, the 12 and the 26 EMA. When they cross downwards, it's a sell signal. When they cross upwards, it's a buy signal. Since this is late, we basically plot these two moving averages in a MACD. Any charting tool, you just add MACD as an indicator. On top of that, you add a 9 EMA. So I'll write that over here. This is a 9 EMA. And that will give you a signal that is faster or earlier than a normal EMA crossover cross under. अब थोड़ा मजा आएगा देखने में. It doesn't matter what company you're looking at. Just make sure you're looking at some Nifty 100 stock because liquidity वहाँ पर है. If you look at an illiquid stock, it just won't work. You need participants for any of these indicators, especially price analysis to work. So let's see our example. But what I'm going to do here in this chart, let's look at the trend reversing upwards. Okay? So let's look at the right hand side of the chart. So over here you can see trend gira and then the trend started moving up, and here is when the trend started reversing and it moved up, came down a little bit, and then बहुत बड़ा rally हुआ. Now if you just look at the moving averages, the cross under happened around here. So that's where the buy signal, I guess, would have been generated, or that's when technical analysts will say, okay, trend is now up. So as you can see, the MACD crossover is much earlier than the normal moving average cross under. So not bad, right? Here you got a much earlier entry. Let's see another example. In the next example, let's see where the trend shifted from an uptrend to a downtrend. So over here, we can see a nice move up, and then the market started falling. Look at the moving averages. You can see that the exponential moving averages converged and crossed over here. And as soon as that happened, give it a few more bars and the market fell. So that's the point right there. But if you look at the MACD and the 9 EMA, that crossover happened much, much earlier, roughly around this space, even before the gap down. So as you can see over here, the MACD crossover happened much earlier and preempted the crossover that was happening in the moving average. So now you must be thinking, damn, ये तो बहुत सही है. इसको हमको use करना है, and you will start using this immediately. But let's calm down. Every time this doesn't work. Hence, don't use this as a buy or sell signal. It's simply a good way to understand whether the trend is up or the trend is down. Think of it as one more tool as a trader. Let me show you where it didn't work. So over here, you'll see that the market is already in a downtrend and there is this base happening. It's just moving sideways and the market goes up and the market falls. So the EMA did not give a trend change direction. There was no cross under happening. The EMAs were just falling. But the MACD actually showed this, which means here, according to the MACD, the trend is now up. And the market did go up. It did try, but eventually it fell. So in this case, it tried to preempt the trend. It went up, but then it did not sustain. So this doesn't happen every single time. But as you can see, even if there's a small rally, the MACD can tell you कि शायद एक rally आने वाला है, or a rally might come now. Whether it's going to be sustained or not is a different story altogether. I hope you found this useful. Here's a summary for you. Make sure you use this only on liquid stocks, top 100 companies only. I would prefer you use this only on Nifty to detect a trend. Don't do buy and sell signals for it. It's just a good way to know whether there's going to be a short-term rally or not. Higher the time frame, the better. If you do this on a 5-10 minute chart, I personally don't think that works. But if you can do it on a daily, weekly, monthly chart, even better. Also, this is a trend detection system and not a system. It's just indicating where the trend is going. So don't buy and sell. Here's a task for all the doers watching this. Pick a stock or an index, put in the date, and tell us whether this technique worked in detecting the trend or not. Even if it's a false move, put it, we can all discuss and learn from each other. If you have any other questions, put in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to LearnApp.